On March 10, 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced a sweeping purge of USAID programs. 83% of USAID's programs were terminated. The remaining programs were moved under the State Department's control. This marked a significant shift in US foreign policy. The announcement followed President Trump's executive order freezing all foreign assistance. The USAID purge was met with mixed reactions. Some lauded it as a necessary step to cut wasteful spending. Others feared it would destabilize vulnerable regions. Critics argued the shutdown of congressionally funded programs was illegal. Multiple lawsuits were filed against the State Department. The future of US foreign aid remained uncertain. The USAID purge signaled a new era in US foreign policy. It was an era where the US took a different approach to its role on the world stage. The timeline from the initial freeze to the completed purge was remarkably short. On January 28th, a waiver allowed for the continuation of humanitarian assistance. Funding for abortion, family planning and transgender surgeries remained frozen. On February 1st, the USAID website went dark. On February 3rd, USAID staff were told to stay home. Marco Rubio stepped in as acting USAID administrator. On February 6th, the waiver included HIV care. On February 27th, USAID staff had 15 minutes to clear their offices. The speed and ruthlessness of the purge were shocking. On March 5th, Elon Musk met with Senate Republicans. The Trump administration was serious about overhauling US foreign aid. The rapid changes left many in the international community concerned. The future of US foreign aid was uncertain. The USAID purge was a clear sign of the administration's priorities. The world watched as the US redefined its approach to foreign aid. The impact of these changes would be felt globally. The USAID purge was a turning point in US foreign policy. The Trump administration justified the USAID purge on grounds of waste and misalignment with national interests. Rubio emphasized the need for fiscal responsibility, arguing the US could no longer afford inefficient programs. The administration pointed to mismanaged funds and projects that failed to meet objectives. They argued many programs no longer served US interests and even benefited adversaries. The administration maintained that US foreign aid should be strategic and conditional. They believed a leaner, more focused approach would be more effective. The administration stressed the need for a fundamental shift in US foreign policy. They argued the US had been too willing to act as the world's benefactor. This, they claimed, led to dependency and entitlement among aid recipients. They believed the US should prioritize its own needs and build partnerships based on mutual benefit. This new approach, they argued, would lead to a more stable and prosperous world. The rationale for the cuts was clear. The administration was committed to a new direction in foreign aid. The USAID purge was a bold move in this new strategy. The USAID purge sparked controversy and faced numerous legal challenges. Critics argued the rapid dismantling of the agency and termination of programs were illegal. Lawsuits were filed by former USAID employees, contractors, and foreign governments. They accused the Trump administration of exceeding its authority and violating budgetary laws. The legality of the purge remained a subject of intense debate. The impact of the purge was felt globally. Cuts to programs supporting health, famine prevention, and democracy training created a ripple effect. Health clinics closed, jeopardizing access to essential medications. Food security programs were disrupted, raising concerns about malnutrition. Democracy promotion efforts were curtailed, hindering progress in developing countries. The purge provoked a strong public outcry. Human rights organizations and humanitarian groups condemned the cuts. They warned of dire consequences for vulnerable populations. The US Global Leadership Coalition argued the cuts would harm US interests by creating instability. The USAID purge had far-reaching implications for global development and US foreign policy.